Hey folks, it's Nate. Thanks for joining me once again as we look to the horizon, and I am back with your weekly writing vlog. It's been a pretty good week. I hope to finish the introduction to the Gospel According to Earth and write 1,500 words in the Burning Bright editions that I'm working on. And now that the week is over, I can proudly report that the introduction is done. It came out to 943 words, which is right there in that 800 to 1,000 word target zone that most of my introductions come out to. And I wrote 1,200 words of the introduction to Burning Bright, which puts me at about 2,000, 2,100 words. So I think I did pretty good this week. I didn't get all the way up to the numbers I hoped for, but I did get pretty close. So we are doing pretty well. One of the things that slowed me down a little bit as I was working on these editions is I didn't want to duplicate anything. And what I mean by that is when you're writing a story from two perspectives, it's okay to show the same set of events from different perspectives if that expounds on the characters. But foundational exposition and things like that, showing it from two different points of view isn't really helpful. And it can bore the reader, or it can yank them out of the story. Or worse, it can set up expectations that these two different perspectives are going to clash in some way, and give some kind of insight into the conflict or relationship between the characters that is important to understanding who they are. And for the most part, I don't plan to do that with these two different points of view. The idea is more to track two different characters as they are on two very different journeys. So it is my hope to avoid duplicating facts or exposition as much as possible so that we can really just focus on the perspectives and opinions of the different characters, and also add some perspective, add some events that I couldn't get when I was just telling the story from one perspective, because the relevant character, who was our viewpoint character, was not in that situation, and thus obviously can't offer any opinions or thoughts about it. So for the most part, I am writing new scenes, except for one scene that I think I do want to change the point of view in. I had originally not wanted to do that, but I think there is one scene where I am going to do that now. But I'm mostly writing new scenes, but I don't want to recap events that characters share from different points of view, because I'm not really going for that. So I have to continually be going through and looking at, okay, did I talk about this thing in the narrative already at some other point? Is it more effective to tell it here rather than elsewhere? These are difficult questions, and they require a certain amount of taste. You have to have a sense of how you want to tell the story. And they require a fair amount of digging, to be perfectly honest. It's very easy for your writer's brain to trick you into thinking you've already talked about something, or that it's already exposited on. In fact, many of the edits that I had to make to Burning Bright already were kind of that vein, where I thought, oh, well, I talked about this somewhere already, so I don't have to talk about it again. And then my mind has played tricks on me, and I've just spent so much time thinking about that subject, I thought I had explained it. Or perhaps there was a previous draft where I talked about something, and then I edited it out with the intention of putting it somewhere else, and I never did. So all of those things can happen. They are hurdles that every writer has to deal with. And I'm trying to make sure that as I add a bunch of new scenes to the story now, I'm not tripping up anything that needs to go into those scenes, or might work better in those scenes rather than where they are now. So that has kind of slowed down my ability to write. I think I could have done 1,500 or even 2,000 words if I hadn't had to do quite as much looking up of little factoids through the course of the week. So, how much do I hope to accomplish this week? That is pretty straightforward. I am going to shelve the Gospel According to Earth right now. My last writing essay went up yesterday, as of this recording, not necessarily when this goes live. So I'm going to be taking next week off, and then I will begin the Gospel According to Earth on the blog with the introduction. So I have a little bit of breathing room. I have almost a month of blog material stocked up, and I think that's a pretty good buffer. So I don't think I will be writing any more of the Gospel According to Earth this week. I think what I want to do is I want to zero in on getting these edits to Burning Bright done, and kind of do one quick pass through the manuscript to sand over the rough edges as it expands, and then I will contact some test readers and focus on getting their feedback and incorporating that as I begin to work on the Gospel According to Earth. Again, I also still have to reach out to my cover artist. I didn't get that done this week. That continues to be something that I hope to get done that I'm not getting done, so shame on me there. But it is what it is. Sometimes you get caught up in one part of a project and you neglect other important aspects of it. I really do need to get working on that, so that's going to be something I try and do this week. And I'm going to make my goal for this week 2,500 words of Burning Bright edits. How much do I think I'm going to have in total? Now that I have done as much as I have, I wanted to add 5 new scenes. I've completed 2 of them. The longest one is probably going to be the 3rd or 4th. And when it's done, then I think we'll have a total of somewhere between 8 and 10,000 new words added to the story. So I'm about 20 to 25% of the way done with what I want to do. So we're running pretty well there. And I think if I can keep this pace up this week and next week, then we'll be good to go the week after that. So at the end of May, I hope to have all of these edits and revisions done. If not before, we'll see. As I said, I got on a pretty good roll this week. But, this is governed by a lot of other factors than, just what happens on my end. So we will see what comes of that. Hopefully good things. In the meantime, that's all I've got for you this week. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. There's a like button and a subscribe button down there. You can use those as you see fit, and I'll talk to you later.